Oh, too hot to handle, too cold to hold. They call them Ghostbusters because they're in control. Well, all the while there was under the building.
So they packed up and boom, got a grip, came equipped, grabbed
Proton bags in the back, they split.
But I'm from Vigo, master of evil, trying to battle my boys.
That's not legal.
In 1984, the Ghostbusters were unleashed on the world. The international box office was smashed, stars were born, and the coolest damn ectotech let us know what we ain't afraid of.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
It took 5 long years for our boys in beige to come back, and on June 16th, 1989, lines formed down the block for the triumphant return of New York's finest, and the crowd went meh.
Our next film is Ghostbusters 2. This movie is a total disappointment. No thought went into it, no effort went into it, there's no comedy in it.
What Roger Ebert didn't realize was there was something bubbling under the surface of this movie called prophecy. Critics and adults didn't see it, but us kids did. 35 years later, 3 of those kids are here to reveal the truth that Ghostbusters 2 predicted social media.
It predicted social media?
Yeah.
Upward spiral, upward spiral, upward spiral.
Beginning of Ghostbusters 2, Dana Barrett finds the guys because she needs their help because something is trying to get her child.
Oh, God! Oscar!
Yeah, that's right.
Social media.
Hold on. Come back.
It's social media.
Social media?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You're very determined that this is true, so I'm going to believe you.
Yes.
Okay.
I know it sounds crazy.
It does.
But go with me on this one.
Okay.
One of the biggest plot points, which is the goo.
Yeah.
The goo. Do you remember?
Yeah. Oh, I remember the goo is everything.
This goo keeps kind of turning up. It's coming out of the plumbing. Right. So they decide to drill illegally in the middle of the city.
They go in the manhole.
Right,
to go down to into underneath the city.
Exactly.
In
and what looks like an old kind of a train track, kind of whatever, they find a river of pink slime. What? It's a river of slime. Just flowing underneath the city. They find out that this substance reacts to human emotions.
Mood slime.
Yes. It can feed off of negativity and it can feed off of positivity.
Yes, and music.
Oh, it dances too.
At first, they just think it's nothing but evil. But the truth is, the goo can change moods depending on what you give it.
You're not sleeping with it, are you, Ray? Oh, baby.
What does that sound like? It amplifies human emotion.
Yeah.
It makes people who are sad even more sad. People are happy, happier. It takes whatever you're feeling and just blows it out of the water and takes control, just like social media.
Well, that's true.
You find out very quickly it's not just pushing baby strollers down the streets. It's under the street.
I think we hit the honeypot.
It's everywhere. It's under your feet. It's in your house. It's in your bathtub. It's trying to attack you when you're taking a deuce. And more importantly, it is trying to get your children.
It totally is.
Yes.
That's their favorite thing. You go to the coffee shop or the restaurant and you see the parent just hand the device to the kid.
Totally.
The kid just sits there and don't even talk to the kid.
I know,
The
and
kid
we
just
have
holds on to the device.
and we have kids.
We
and
trained them to look at devices all day and all night. And
I
what's
know.
on those devices? The friggin' social media, the apps.
I know.
We're all gonna die.
There comes a time where your child asks you, they go, "Can I have an Instagram?" And you literally have
No, and
this,
you say no.
and
You
literally-
can't have an Instagram.
you
But then
go-
all their friends have Instagrams.
And then you have to go, my son just joined.
Can take him off.
I know, but he said he wanted on, and I knew in the pit of my stomach, I was like, he's going to get this at some point in time. But I immediately was washed with this fear and anxiety.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's about to be introduced to a terrible world that's on his phone that he doesn't even know exists yet.
Social media is designed perfectly to destroy you.
Exactly. Oh, it's like the goo. It's like the goo.
It's like the goo.
So how does it amplify human emotion?
Good question, buddy. Actually, we found this really cool article on medium.com by a person named, oh boy.
Take a shot at it.
I'm going to take a shot at it. Ashutosh Parab.
I'd like to immediately apologize to the Parab family.
To the Parab family.
We'd like our deepest condolences
yes,
for the way that Clayton
Clayton
has
just
absolutely butchered your name
just,
and shamed your family for generations to come.
Yeah.
He's a darn fine writer.
Yeah.
All right, so according to Ashutosh Parab, every person has a set of mirror neurons. These neurons constantly pay attention to the emotional state of others, then try to mirror it and mimic the same emotion. If you go home stressed, you could see your family feels a little stressed too. Emotions are contagious. They may be positive or negative. Social media is just a collection of heightened negative emotions.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely true.
Yeah.
It's definitely true. You like the vibe in a room will shift depending upon who's in the room.
Yeah.
And depending upon what they're going through at that moment.
Yeah. This is speaking my language for sure, because I'm a very empathetic person, and I'm somebody that I feel the emotions of those around me, and it's always been something that has been tough in the regular plane of existence, and when it's something that I experience while reading my phone, it's even worse. Yeah. So I had to stop reading my phone at certain times, like whether it was tweets or Facebook posts or whatever. I had to stop because I would like absorb whatever horrible, terrible thing I was reading, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. It gets in your brain.
Kind of like how I felt during the pandemic.
And that is the perfect segue for what I want to talk about next, which is Ghostbusters 2 perfectly prophesized social media during the pandemic.
Go on.
There is a scene in the movie where Ray, Winston, and Egon fall into the goo. And that's exactly what happened to us during the pandemic. We fell into the river of goo of social media, and we went crazy. Ghostbusters come out, they're just slime covered, and they're angry, and they want to kill each other, and they're fighting each other, and they've just lost their minds. And their only solution is to take off all their clothes, get the slime off, get it off of their bodies, and they're okay.
Someone has got to say, fellas, ladies, take off your clothes.
Take off your clothes. 100%. You got to get away from it. It's like you have to
Let's
get
get
away.
out of these wet clothes
and into a dry martini.
Exactly. It's the perfect analogy, because we all witnessed, everybody from parents, grandparents, relatives to somebody you knew growing up, say these insane, like out of left field, out of right field things. You're like, I know that's not true, and where are you getting that?
Everybody became a political expert,
yeah,
or an expert on a conspiracy theory,
yes,
or had some idea that they found somewhere that was 100% the truth, whether or not there was any research done on how true it was or not, and then become like the prophets of that idea.
I will spread this message to everyone in the world. He is Vigo.
He is Vigo.
That's it.
This is what was going on, covered in goo.
And you think about how foolish you start to look, because at some point it gets figured out. Time bears the truth.
Set down your phone, put down your iPad, go for a walk, hang out with somebody you love in person. And what does the Gen Alpha say?
They say touch grass.
Touch grass. The deeper you fall down into this rabbit hole, this downward spiral of conspiracy theories and paranoid thinking, the more you need to take a step back and focus on reality thinking and not paranoid.
Yeah.
I have a conspiracy theory.
Of course you do.
About Danny Aykroyd.
Okay.
I guess it's time for another one of those
Clayton's Conspiracy Corner.
Clayton's Conspiracy Corner.
Clayton's Conspiracy Corner.
Daniel Edward Aykroyd, fourth-generation spiritualist, great-grandchild of Dr. Samuel Augustus Aykroyd, a dentist who was so horrified by the abject pain caused to his patients by the pre-topical anesthetic era of the late 19th century that he studied the mythical and mystical art of hypnosis to ease the anguish of his timorous clientele. And in so doing, Dr. Samuel fell deep into the rabbit hole of the supernatural and paranormal. Seances became a regular occurrence in the Aykroyd farmhouse, where ectoplasm manifested and trumpets flew overhead. Sam's son Maurice grew up to become a Bell telephone engineer who dove headfirst into research and development of a high-vibration crystal radio as a mechanical method for contacting the spirit realm. This was Dan's grandfather. Little Danny himself, being raised by such conjurers and explorers of the unknown, partook in his own seances, did his own research, and I'm sure conjured up his own manifestations of the hereafter. Which brings me back to his prophetic nature. Could it be that in the century of familial sojourns in the other side, that one, just one of the hundreds of disembodied spirits have attached themselves to our dear Danny? Yes, a paranormal partner, an amorphous associate, if you will, who, like the devil on the shoulder of the great conjurers of yore, has been guiding the pen of Mr. Ackroyd for most of his adult life. Balderdash, you say? Poppycock, claptrap, and hogwash, and yet, deep within the cockles of your colon, a spark of truth is felt. You know it, and I know it. Spirit attachment has been a thing since Plato first claimed his master Socrates had a daemonian, literally a divine something, that frequently warned him in the form of a voice against mistakes. Or there were other such historical figures who had these audible guides. Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, and Joan of Arc, Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., Carl Jung, Phil K. Dick, and Sigmund frickin' Freud. But no, you don't believe in this. To you, these incredible thinkers, these knowers of the Gnosis, could in no way be influenced by the beings from beyond, the knowledge of the gods, the vibrations of Vishnu himself. Why, in all of our rational scientific thinking, must it be so preposterous that life could continue on after our hearts have stopped beating?
So, Ronnie, what do we have in the lawsuit fund?
There is no Ronnie, only Zulu.
Another way that Ghostbusters 2 prophesied the perils of social media was foretelling its harshest aspect, cancel culture.
What?
Cancel culture, everybody's favorite trend.
They did one thing wrong in the first movie.
They blew up New York.
Well, potato, potato.
Conjured up a 100-foot marshmallow man through the top 3 floors off an uptown high-rise, ended up getting sued by every state, county, and city agency in New York.
Yeah, but what a ride.
They are hosed.
Host. If you think about the amount of damage that the Avengers did to New York.
Right, destroyed, and they seem to pick up in the next film, and it's just like, it's fine.
Like
tax dollars will pay for this.
In The Incredibles, they talk a little bit about it, right?
The banks were insured. We have infrastructure in place to deal with these matters. If you had simply done nothing, everything would now be proceeding in an orderly fashion.
You'd have preferred we do nothing?
Without a doubt.
It's kind of funny to see them like, well, no, you've destroyed the city. We're going to sue you. We're going to take everything from you. And they didn't have anything. They're Ghostbusters. They didn't have money.
They didn't
they actually mortgage Ray's parents' house to fund themselves in the first movie?
My parents left me that house. I was born there.
You're not going to lose the house. Everybody has 3 mortgages nowadays.
But at 19%, you didn't even bargain with the guy.
They've ruined their lives, and they're at the beginning. They're doing children's birthday parties.
Look who's here!
It is worth mentioning that at the birthday party, not a lot of people know this, but the kid who walks up to them and says,
"My dad says you guys are full of crap." Jason?
That is Jason Reitman. That is Ivan Reitman's son as a little boy who will grow up and direct the Ghostbusters sequels.
That's kind of hilarious because his dad is directing the movie. So his very man who says he's full of crap is the one who's making them go up there and dance and follow the lines in the script.
He just says you guys are full of crap and that's why you went out of business.
And then he would later in the future do the same thing with today's Ghostbusters that the children love.
I have no idea what that feels like at all, making you guys dance.
Hello, fellow Flasher.
So that's cancel culture. So the Ghostbusters were canceled, and that's where we started the beginning of Ghostbusters 2.
And now it's time for a little segment we like to call $1 Billion Check.
Yeah!
This is where we ask our celebrity friends what they would do to save the world if we handed them $1 billion check.
This being Ghostbusters week, who are we going to call? Ernie Hudson!
Hi, this is Ernie Hudson. You probably know me best as Winston Zedmore from Ghostbusters. Giving a big shout out to everyone there at Upward Spiral. I've been asked, what would I do to save the world with $1 billion check? Well, $1 billion is not a whole lot of money, but it is a lot of money for those who don't have it. So what would I do with $1 billion check? I would put every penny into education, especially supporting schools that are underfunded, teachers' salaries that I'd give it most of it to teachers and let them figure it out. But we have a lot of problems, and I think the solution is in young people, but they can't address those problems if they're not prepared. So we need to prepare our young people. We need to better educate them and make sure that they have all the resources they need to step into this future that most of us won't be around to see. So anyway, that's what I do with $1 billion.
Could that have been more perfect?
Seriously.
I mean, it was as if he was here with the script ready to do the show with us. We're talking about kids. We're talking about social media.
That's where you need to invest.
We're talking about the future.
Spot on.
Obviously, $1 billion is a lot more money than we have. It's not enough money to solve the problem, and so we're going to give even less to help solve the problem. But we will be donating $1,000 in Ernie's name
to a charity of his choice,
an educational charity of his choice.
He's so nice.
I mean, it's good to have friends like that.
It is really good to have friends like that.
It's nice that we have personal friends.
Close
that we know so well.
Just a buddy.
Who show up on, ignore, by the way, on the bottom right, it says cameo. That's not there.
Pay no attention to the cameo in the corner.
He likes us a lot and always goes to every one of our Christmas parties.
The goo is an amplifier.
I believe you.
What else is an amplifier for emotions?
There was a story that came out of Japan, and it was online. Okay. But as I dug in deeper, I was like, this might be pseudoscience, not real, not true.
Okay.
But it's worth talking about for a second.
Okay.
This guy's name is Masaru Emoto.
Okay.
He would have rice in a jar and water. Okay. And he would say, I love you.
To the rice in the water.
I love you, rice. Yeah. Then the middle one, he would be like, so he would do that to the second one. Then the third one, he would walk away as he didn't even look over his shoulder dramatically back at the rice.
Yeah.
And the rice would be like that.
He just ignored.
So that was the experiment.
Can you give me the short moment of backting?
Oh, yeah. You want some backting on this one? Okay, ready?
To that camera,
so I want you to say to me, no, wait.
Okay. Oh, you got it. Yeah. Yep. No, wait.
Best.
Thank you.
That's all I want.
I'm a highly trained backer.
You're incredible.
So if you didn't know that.
You're incredible.
That was the experiment. Every single time they show that the loving one didn't have any mold after like 10 or 15 days. No mold in the water and the rice.
Mold-free rice.
Mold-free if you loved it.
Then
if the one that was like anger, it was like super moldy. And then the one that you walked away, also moldy in its own unique way. So the ones that were like disregarded or treated poorly formed mold, and the one that you loved didn't. So I found a lot of videos of people being like, I did it and it works.
I'm sorry, but I have a very Ghostbusters 2 take on this.
Can I say it? Yes, this is why I brought it to you.
Okay. So we're assuming then that mold is bad.
Right.
Oh.
There you go, dude. We're assuming mold is bad.
Why are we assuming that mold is bad? Mold has a place.
Absolutely.
Mold exists for a reason.
Thanks
to mold, we have antibiotics.
We have penicillin.
Yes.
Right? Because of mold.
Mold is a necessary part of the earth.
That is... You are rocking my world right now because rice is of the earth.
Yes.
And mold is of the earth.
Yes.
And so rice getting mold on it
is part of the earth.
It's only bad because we said it's bad.
We decided it was bad for some reason. And by the way, we were wrong.
It's helpful.
Yes.
Hey guys, do you guys hear that?
Yeah.
I hear a segment called Null Ruins the...
The fun of our previous show, the Beverly Podcast, was dropping shit on you that you didn't know was coming.
Everything is perspective.
Yeah.
It just is.
Some rice wants to be talked dirty to. Some rice, you go, you're stupid, naughty rice, and it's like, yeah.
And it's all you. Oh yeah, Daddy.
Oh yeah. So stop.
Tell me more.
Stop yucking the yum of talking dirty to your rice.
I'm the kind of rice that just wants to get after it. Let's get nasty.
Oh, you nasty rice.
Oh, you nasty rice.
Nasty. Nasty rice. Don't mean a thing. Nasty rice.
Ghostbusters 2 also foretold the most dangerous thing about slime being everywhere, aka social media, is that people can use it to gain power.
I mean, we're seeing that now.
Vigo the Carpathian is the perfect analogy of our current day. People in power, politicians, billionaires, and their desire to gain power. And the only way they can break out is through the goo.
Yeah. Literally, Vigo in the movie is incapable of evaporating.
Right. He's stuck.
He cannot come forth into the earth without a vessel.
Right.
Without the goo. Thoughts, ideas, concepts, things that the demigods of the world would love for us to believe, would love for us to think, would love for us to do. They now have the tool.
Yeah.
They have the way to do it.
And he gets into Janosch's mind, and Janosch is willing to do anything to protect that painting. Yeah. That object that can't escape, he will guard it because he's been brainwashed.
Yeah. So how can it go on forever? How can these demigods move on forever? How can you get people, even those of us who aren't on social media and want nothing to do with social media? Well, you get into the baby. You get into kids.
Hide your kids, hide your wife. Vigo's goal is to get into the next generation tech and be there for everybody. Just get into Oscar, and now that baby will grow up and spread the same message, and the goo will continue, and the evil will continue.
Who controls the slime? The goo never disappears. The goo is still there.
It is.
Right? It still exists. It's still bubbling under the city, doing what it does.
There's no scene of them carting out all the goo and being like, we did it. No. There's no more slime in New York City. It's still there.
The slime is there, just how are we using it?
Yeah.
What are we amplifying? Right? We amplify what we amplify because the demigods have decided this is the way to control us.
Yeah.
So don't let them decide what you're going to do.
You decide.
You decide what you're going to do. Because social media is not going anywhere.
No.
There are so many aspects of it that people want.
It's here to stay.
But it is ours to control. We just have to handle it differently.
Right.
So why did we bother to spend an entire episode talking about Ghostbusters 2 and goo?
Because at the end of the movie, how do they win? How do they save the day? They actually use positively charged slime. They use the very same tool. The social media, the slime is being used the right way. The people sing, and they're coated in the good stuff.
This slime is positively charged. He'll wake up feeling like $1 million.
Social media isn't going away. It's helpful. It's a wonderful way for our grandparents to see our children. It's a wonderful way to keep in touch with friends from the past and build relationships and build community. You can use it for these great, amazing things.
Yes.
It's just you need to be aware of that evil goo that pulls you under, possesses you like Ray.
No! Ray, and Vigo.
You turn into something that you are not. We believe you can positively charge your social media.
Now!
You have a choice. You're allowed to be mad. You're allowed to be angry. It is your God-given right to be miserable if you want to be miserable.
Being miserable and treating other people like dirt is every New Yorker's God-given right.
Yeah.
That is totally true.
Yeah.
But remember that you being miserable with this tool spreads.
It does.
So choose where, when, and how you're going to be miserable because it's not just for you, right? If you're going to be on this tool, be responsible with it.
Mm-hmm. Social media.
Mm-hmm.
I have a quote.
All right.
All
it's better
right,
be
baby.
from a very talented, well-established author.
This is from the late, great Harold Ramis.
Oh,
Egon Spangler.
R.I.P.
There's a performing motto at Second City to say yes instead of no. It's actually an improvisational tool. It's about supporting the other person. And the corollary to that is if you concentrate on making other people look good, then we all have the potential to look good.
Yeah.
He's right. That's an improvisational scene. It doesn't work if you say no but.
Yeah.
It doesn't. If you make the scene about you, it doesn't work. If you try to make it about what are we all doing together, those scenes just They sing.
They do.
Without,
They sing.
Without singing.
No. What? Not feeling it.
You just wanted to naysay us?
I just wanted to try it out, and you're right. It just killed the whole scene.
Look at what just happened to the show.
Look at what happened. The goo.
Look at what he did.
The goo. We were on positively charged, and here came Vigo.
We had this fantastic finish to the show, and now we're leaving everybody from Upward Spiral like that.
Back down again.
All right, this has been Upward Spiral. Thank you for watching. Come on back in a couple weeks when we'll have some more fantastic content.
See you then. Spiral, upward spiral.